My landlord has hit me with a £16,000 dilapidation report, and oh God, I'm so angry. And if you don't know what a dilapidations report is, let me break it down for you so you understand what it's all about. So if your business leases or rents a property, a unit, a warehouse, an office from a landlord, it's your job to keep it in good standing. And when your lease is over and you are moving from that premises, a surveyor will come down and check it all out and report back to the landlord on its condition. They will then produce a dilapidations report, which is work that needs to be done to that premises to bring it back up to a rentable standard. And this is where the charges come in, because if you haven't looked after it, you'll be hit with some charges. Now, why am I so angry with mine? Because, quite frankly, we have been exemplary tenants. We've looked after every single inch of the property. The property had a brand new roof fitted, brand new roller shutter door, brand new windows, brand new doors. Like 6 weeks ago, it had a company come down and work on the estate for about 3 months to bring it all up to brand new. It's mint. And yet, we've been told we've got to pay £16,132. And here, let me show you. I can't show you the ins and outs, but that is the bill that they're expecting us to pay. Now, granted, there are some things on there that we've already done. There was £1,500 to take down some racking. It was my racking. I was taking it down anyway, and it's gone. There is about £2,500 to decorate the interior. We knew that we had to paint the walls, and that's being done by us anyway. And there is £350 for electrical report. We knew we had to do that, so that's going to be done anyway. But the biggie is £8,500 to replace the floor. That's just a joke. The floor in our warehouse has been down for 25 years. It was put down when it was a cafe, because our unit that we were in used to be a cafe, and they put down this really nice floor. And everybody that's been in there has looked after it. When we took it over, it wasn't in great shape. We cleaned it up. It's now in better shape than when we moved in. Yet they're telling us that we've got to pay £8,500 to replace the floor. And I can tell you one thing right now, that is not happening. Not at all. So that's why I'm so angry. Now, I'm going to take you down to the unit and I'm going to show you exactly the ins and outs. But before I do that, I'm mindful that in last week's video, I mentioned that we'd finished everything off in the new place, which I'm standing in now. So I'm going to show you around. Okay, so here we go. Our fully functioning new premises done. Not 100%. There is definitely more to do because there is still some equipment and stuff down at our old warehouse that needs to come down here, and there's still some things that we need to do here to make it absolutely perfect. But I'm going to show you around and show you exactly what we've done in the space of probably 2 weeks. Now, as you can see, our office is now fully functional. Everybody's gone home. We have 4 desks up which are in work. We have got our storage. We've got our little canteen area for the staff, which there's some random things on the floor that do need to go up on the wall. We've got our awards and our certificates, and there is another one down here which are gonna go at the front of the property. And let me just take you outside, and yes, that is a child's stairgate at the front. And that's the reason why. So the dog does not escape. So here we are. This is now the warehouse in full operation. As I said, it is still a little bit messy, so please don't judge me. There is lots of wood around, there's lots of boxes that still need to be put away. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So let me take you down from the front and give you a little bit of a showcase. So we've got this front reception area still isn't being done. Now I'm going to flash you back quickly to what it looked like when we first put it together, and now this is what it's like. So we've started to put the walls in. We're going to put all the trophies and certificates that I just showed you up on this wall. There's a little bit of an infill to do down there. We then have temporary table for when we are packing stuff, and we have our packing area. We then have 2 racks, one closest to me and one furthest away, which houses all of our stock that's up for sale and is destined for our mystery boxes. We then have our racking, and here we go, full of hardware that we are processing or have ready to be photographed to be listed for sale. And then we have toilet, boxes still not put away yet, and then we have our processing desks, and then we have our list station, and there we go. As you see, there's one there just being listed, and that's us. I'm really happy with it. There is going to be, as I said earlier on, I don't know why I'm walking on this way, hang on, there is going to be, early part of next year, a big mezzanine going up there above the office, which is why we haven't put a roof on the office. We didn't want to go to the expense of putting a roof on it if we were going to be putting a mezzanine on it, and the floor of the mezzanine would then in turn become the roof of the ceiling of the office. So I'll flip the camera around, and we will be putting a big mezzanine right up there, because as you can see, this place has got extremely high roof. That's the top of the roller shutter. There is just so much space. So we will be putting a mezzanine down this end of the building, and that should give us another 600 square feet, I think, possibly. I haven't done the maths. That might be right, that might be wrong, but there we go. And it feels nice to be in. Now, we've just got to finish off down the road at our old place, give the keys back, job done. So this is the warehouse, pretty much empty, and I'm going to spin. You can't really see that much because, well, I'm just spinning you around really slowly. But this is the floor, these are the walls, and this is what our landlord is trying to charge us £16,100 to put right. Now, granted, the walls are a bit, they need painting, which we knew we would have to do anyway, and that's what we're here today to do. The floor, there's nothing wrong with the floor, it's just dirty, and we knew that we would have to clean it up anyway. So this is what the place looks like now, and it's bank holiday, it's the bank holiday weekend, it's August bank holiday, and we're going to be spending 3 days down here getting everything looking spot on. Not because we have to, well, we do have to, not because we've been told to, but because that's what we were going to do anyway when we left. We were going to paint all the walls, we were going to clean all the floor, we were going to get everything looking ship-shape. But the frustrating thing is getting a bill for 16,100 and whatever it is. And the surveyor came and looked while we were still working here 3 weeks ago when the place was a mess. Anyway, we need to get to work. I'm not going to film much today, to be fair, maybe just bits and bobs, but I'll give you an update at the end of day one. It's now 8:45 in the morning, and we plan to do a long shift today. So yeah. Well, it's day 2 of this bank holiday weekend and Operation Save Ourselves £16,100 from our surveyor's stroke landlord's stupid dilapidations report. And as you can see from behind me, we have now painted literally all the walls a lovely white colour. And yes, everything looks a million times better. Now, it's worth pointing out that, and we will tell this to the landlord, that when we moved in here, the previous tenant did zero work. They didn't paint, they didn't clean, they didn't do anything. We took over this place and it was a mess. So yeah, we just lived with it. We cleaned it ourselves and we got on with it. But now we feel like we're just being completely shafted by the landlord who wants to charge us £16,000 for what? I mean, can you tell me? Yeah, the floor is dirty and we are cleaning that. This is the first square that's been done, and as you can see, it's a lot better. Luckily, we do have photographs. I might have said this earlier on, but it is Sunday morning now. We do have photographs of everything that this property was like when we moved into it, and we will be providing them to the surveyor and to the landlord on Wednesday when we give the keys back. So, what have we done? Well, Saturday was just Painting. We've painted everywhere in here. We've painted the hallway, we've painted the bathroom, the toilet area. That's all been done. And all that's left is this floor and then the yard outside, which just needs a little bit of a cutback. And I'm thinking by the end of Monday, we should have all that done. But it's been really hard graft. That's why I've not done any filming while we've been working, because honestly, we got here at like 7:30 yesterday morning, 8 o'clock. We didn't leave here till like 5, and it absolutely killed us both because it's only me and Nick doing it. And today it's only me and Nick doing it again. But yeah, I'll show you some after shots at the end of today. We have been here for a couple of hours because it is midday already, clearing out. And I'll spin the camera around and give you a before and after. So this is what the floor looks like before. As you can see, there is lots of dirty patches where the office was, which it does look worse on camera than it actually is. And that's by the roller shutter door. Over here is a lot better. And there's the square that we've actually done. So this is the before shot. And I will say the camera makes it look a hell of a lot worse than it actually is. Just under a week ago, we had a dilapidations report from our landlord for £16,120. It is now Bank Holiday Monday, and we've done everything possible to take this place back to how it was when we got it. As you can see, if you've been watching this video from the start, all the walls have now been painted. All the walls inside the toilet and the little corridor thing have been painted. The floor's been done, the floor's been cleaned. All the floor here has now been completely scrubbed and cleaned, and it doesn't look brand new. But this floor has been down in this unit for 20 years, since when it was a cafe in the 90s or early 2000s. I'm not 100% certain. I never came here when it was a cafe. But it's an industrial warehouse floor, and we think we've returned it back in a better condition than when we took over this warehouse 3 years ago. Now, because there wasn't a dilapidations report done when we took over, there was no handover. The previous customers, as I said earlier on in the video, hadn't done any decorating or cleaning or anything. We feel we've met our obligations as tenants. And actually, we've done more than we're obligated to as tenants, because this place was a shit tip when we took over. And that door didn't work for 6 months, and that roof leaked up there for a couple of months. So yeah, there's not much more we can do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prepare our reply to the dilapidations report, and put what we're willing to accept and what we're not willing to accept, document the work that we've done, and submit it and see what happens. The keys go back on Wednesday and it's Monday today. I just want to close the door on this and forget about it. So there we go. I think we'll go back to the office now and summarise some of the sales that we've done over the last 3 weeks since I last gave you an update on the vintage clothing stuff, because we need to get back into the clothing stuff again, which we are doing. So yeah, let's get back to the office. Well, the home office, shower, change, cup of tea, and then let's dive into some figures. Well, I'm back home, I'm fed, I'm watered, and I feel a ton better. But I have to say, that was 2.5 days of the hardest work that I've done in such a long time. To be fair to Nikki and I, we have worked our tails off to get that warehouse in a tip-top condition. And now it is in a far better condition than when we took over the lease 3 years ago. And I feel confident giving the keys back in 2 days' time. Now, what we're going to do is formulate a reply to the dilapidations report, detailing all the work that we've done, including photographs of before we took it over and today, and contest everything. So if you want to know how this story goes, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'll do an update as soon as I've got an update. But let's crack on with some clothing content, because everybody out there watching has probably started to follow this channel because of my clothing or because of my eBay project, which was start an eBay business and grow it as big as I can in 12 months' time. And over the last sort of 3 or 4 months, I've diversified into the vintage clothing market. We've opened up into different marketplaces. I now sell on Vinted, Depop, as well as eBay. I'm sourcing stock from various different wholesalers. And I'm happy to say that my 2 latest orders from Fleek and Italian Vintage Wholesale are now up and live. The 2 unboxing videos, you can go back and watch. I'll link them in the description below. But we are all systems go. And despite not really pushing the clothing business the last couple of weeks because of the move, we've still had some sales to report. And I'm going to finish this video off today just letting you know what sold, how much we bought it for, how much it's sold for, what platform it's sold on, and what profit that we've made. Now, all the items I've sold have all come from my wholesale batch purchases, and we've had sales across all different marketplaces. Now, Depop has actually been the best performing marketplace with 8 sales. eBay comes in second with 6. Vinted has been really disappointing and has only returned 3 sales. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll rattle through all 18 items that have sold since my last update, and I'll put images up of each item and where they've been sourced from, and we'll just run through these really quickly. So let's start off with the 8 Depop orders. First up is the Vans blue check long sleeve shirt. Purchased that for £3.01. We sold it for £11.20 with £7.58 profit. Next up is the vintage white like Timberland long sleeve shirt. Again, £3.01 cost price. We sold that for £16.29. And the profit is £12.33. Now, with my Depop orders, the sell price, I've already minused off the small little seller fee. Next up from Depop was the Kanda polo shirt, which we purchased for £2.08, sold that for £8.50, made £5.79 profit. Next up is Ralph Lauren polo, a blue striped, which we purchased for £3.92, sold it for £16.20, £11.42 profit. Another Ralph Lauren polo, this is the pink striped one this time. Again, same cost price, £3.92, sold that for £12, £7.35 profit. Another Ralph Lauren polo, these started to sell well as soon as I got them up. This is the blue and pink stripe. Again, £3.92 cost price, sold that one for £13, £8.32 profit. We sold then the Marvel t-shirt, wasn't great condition, £6.50. I wanted that gone because I'd had it for months. Sold it for £4. We actually made a £3 loss on that one. And the last one from Depop is the first of the Italian Vintage Wholesale vintage knits. That was the, I can't remember exactly how to pronounce this, but it's the Carnton Sport, which we bought for £6.31. It's a nice beige knit. Sold that for £20, so we made £12.72 profit. Next, I'm going to move on to the eBay sales. We've got 6 of these. First up is the Dickies shirt. Purchased that for £7.36, sold it for £18.70. After fees, £7.76 profit. Next is the New Look Nirvana t-shirt. This was actually a ladies t-shirt. Bought that for £2.84, sold it for £9. After fees, £4.08 profit. The Prince of Cats vintage t-shirt, which I actually loved, and it took a hell of a long time for this to sell. I originally had it up for, I think it was about £30. I ended up accepting an offer for £20, £2.84 cost price. We made £12.78 after fees. Next up is the denim short sleeve Wrangler shirt, £3.01 cost price, £15 sell price, after fees, £7.80. We then sold a 4XL hot tuna t-shirt. Again, this was one that I'd had for absolutely ages, so I just took the offer when it came in. It had a £6.50 cost price. We sold it for £7.92. Unfortunately, it ended up as another loss after fees. We lost 50p on that one. We then started to sell a couple of the Levi chinos that I listed, that I bought from Fleek. First ones were the red pair, which I actually really quite liked. £3.38 cost price, £18 sell price. After fees, £8.22 profit. And finally for eBay, a pair of, I think these were the navy chinos. Again, £3.38 cost price. Sold them for £18 and made £14.62 profit on those. 3 Vinted, which again, really disappointed with Vinted for only selling 3 products. We sold 2 pairs of chinos and a vintage t-shirts. So the 2 pairs of chinos, both cost price of £3.38. One, the green one sold for £18 and the brown one sold for £20. So we made £14.62 and £16.62 profit on those two. The lamp t-shirt, which actually sold this morning, £2.84 cost price, sold that for £10, £7.16 profit. Okay, so the totals for 18 units sold over the last couple of weeks are as follows. Total cost price to purchase the items, £71.58. We made sales of £259.81 after all the fees and all the shipping, because I did promote some of the products on eBay and I did offer free shipping on some of the products on eBay. The total income after all of those fees have been minused off for £223.59, which means we made a profit of £152.01. Now, we're doubling our money. We're more than doubling our money, and I'm really happy with the profit margin. Really, really good. And obviously, I'm not taking out anything as a wage because this is a project account and this is a project business. But to be running at around 50, 55, maybe just under 60% profit, really, really good. All we need to do now is ramp up the numbers. We need to get more listing. We've got about 91 products listed at the moment, which is nowhere near enough for a clothing business. But I'm happy with the way things are going. And this just proves to me that if we can get the sales volume much, much higher, we can make some really, really good profit from clothing. Now, we've got to be very savvy with what we buy. We've got to buy at the right price. We've got to sell at the right price. And I'm going to test out a couple of different wholesalers because I've been buying from Fleek and Italian Vintage Wholesale for the last couple of months, and I do want to try out some others. So if you guys have got any wholesalers that you'd like me to try and do an unboxing of and then try selling them to see what kind of profit that we can make, comment them down below and I will do my very best to go out and buy from them. But overall, super happy, couldn't ask for anything more. And I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. I'm going to have to do this to give you my regular sign off because thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up because it just helps us get found by other people looking for this type of content. And if you have got this far, please make sure you've hit that subscribe button because over 70% of you watching haven't subscribed and it's free. It's a one-click thing and it shows that you support the channel. Thank you very much. It's been a long 3 days. I definitely deserve a beer or two. I'm going to get this video finished and I'm going to go and put my feet up. Thank you very much for watching. Keep sourcing, keep making money, and I'll see you on the next video.